Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to our Europa Universalis 4 game, where we are Hindustan, formed out of Delhi. And we're trying to unite the Indian subcontinent at the present time. Current targets are Bengal. We are about to absorb. We're not overextended at all, so we could take as much stuff from as we like, as long as our overextension does not go over 100. So our primary goal here is to take forts from them. We're going to do that. We'll upset people. Take all their money. We'll leave them as a one province minor. Can we take that? No. So it'll be just that state. And now we can get rid of this fort on Gouda. That's not necessary. And we conquered this. Let's increase the autonomy. We don't want to deal with any more rebels. We just don't have the manpower for it. Increase the autonomy there. Here. Here, let's get rid of the fort there. Because we got this fort. Increase the autonomy there. And there. So we're getting big. And we're going to keep our navy in port here. Just because we're outmatched on the high seas. Okay, this loyalty has dropped, so we're going to lighten the tax burden of our dhimmi once again. And as soon as we get the chance, we'll start coring some of this stuff. Okay, so we have a skilled diplomat. And what he lets us choose between is adding another diplomatic relation. We could potentially pick up another ally or vassal without it being a drain on our diplomatic power. But there's no really great candidates for that, so I'm just going to take the diplomatic power. We're no longer hurting with war exhaustion, so we'll just save that up for ideas or technology. The diplomatic power, I mean. We capture Cornwall. Can we go? No, we can't seize their capital yet. Okay, we've seen this before. As our administration grows, we need people to fill our bureaucracy. Do we turn to the nobility and alienate merchant guilds? Do we turn to the merchant guilds and alienate the nobility? Do we turn instead to the ulama and alienate the nobility? Or do we turn to the dhimmi and alienate the emirs and ulama? We don't want this one because our dhimmi is already as loyal as pretty much we can get them. Our country runs for their benefit and they appreciate it. I am going to side with our merchant guilds. The reason why is our emirs have a lot of influence. We can afford to get this, to have that loyalty drop. And now that our loyalty is pretty high with the merchant guilds, we can ask them for some cash. That'll help us recover our economy after this war. I'm trying to keep our real troops away from the sieges and battles. Revolt in our subject. And we'll send troops to deal with that once we get the chance. And they're going to attack us here. Because it is hills, and they control the forts, so they're the defender. Even though they're attacking us in the battle. And we're going to retreat as soon as we're able. Back behind the other army. And now we can improve our military technology. So we're 2 years ahead of time. And now we're once again ahead of Vijay and Andhra. I'm not going to downsize our army yet. Yeah, actually I am. I'm going to consolidate some of those mercenaries and start hiring some real replacements for them. Get these troops right next to our other army and get this up to 20,000. Infantry. Okay, there's an agricultural revolution affecting this province of Sinsagar. Ask us, do we want to increase the base tax, production, or manpower? We are going to increase the manpower. And we've seized that fort, so let's capture their capital, and then we'll worry about trying to kill their armies. Still need to core this before we can take everything possible. This province only supports 26,000 people, so we're going to leave these 5 here in reserve for the moment. I think we'll move these. Actually, we'll just move troops around and prepare to attack them here after we capture their capital. Choose the Manipur is over. But they're a subject that was... Just when we declare wars, we get a truce with the other participants in the war. It's a way of avoiding exploits of backstabbing people right after you've fought in a war together. Okay, so we could attack them here. It's hills, so I'm going to do it. Even if they win the battle, we'll make them hurt. We'll call out the garrison here, 1,600 extra men. It only costs us 10 military power to do that. Yeah, so we won that. And now we'll liberate this territory. Hopefully this fort will fall, and then we'll be able to chase them and engage their beat-up army. With this fort here, we might not be able to. Let's get this influence idea, because I want to be able to integrate in vassals more cheaply. That's definitely in our long-term interests. And I'm going to take these mercenaries and reduce them down. And hire a replacement troop. We're going to wait until after the war to try paying off loans. Ooh. One of their armies is trying to cross over to Ceylon. So we're just going to park our army here. Oh, we might be able to kill one of their armies. We did, wiped them out, killed every single man. And now we're just going to go for a cheapo advisor. Cheapest guy we can find. Now their army is stuck down here. We could basically siege them out, and they can't really do much about it. So our army's trapped in the south, on an island. They would have to cross to engage us. And I doubt they're going to feel confident trying to do that. Let's get a couple units of mercenaries, so we're just going to spread out. Around this area. By couple, I apparently mean 4 non-traditional couple. And we've got 69 war score. Their enthusiasm is pretty low, so we can basically take most anything that we want. Again, we're going to wait until after the war to try paying off our debt. They're offering us a peace deal, but we're not going to accept. We're not even going to look at it. And tell them no. Nothing. It's not the way we do things. You don't get to send us a peace offer. We dictate terms to you at the end of a spear. Or bayonet. Bayonets aren't invented yet, so. At the end of a spear? Well, Baluchistan is now much too big to become our vassal. Well, maybe not. We can hope for the best. And 44, sometime we can get them as an ally again. Okay, that fort fell, so we can crush this army that they're trying to build. And we've cored a bunch of stuff. Let's consolidate down those mercenaries, just for the sake of our economy. Still got more to core. As fort is causing problems for us. Let's actually break off just the mercenaries and send them onto the fort. Their deaths cost us nothing except for a little bit of war exhaustion. Again, we have that same event, either accept some autonomy or try to bring down our inflation. And we're going to bring down our inflation because it's good for our economy, and if we don't, we'll keep getting those events. We could raise more war taxes, but our economy is a little bit healthier. We're actually making some money as long as we're looting people. And all we're really waiting for at this point is some of the stuff to core. Bengal Delta is worth 37 over extension because its development is really high. It's got 37 development. That is a big city. We can promote another culture. We're going to select Bihari. And move these guys here just so that we can trap those troops in. They could try attacking us here, but then we will move north to reinforce. Okay, so traveling minstrel. Normally this would give us 1 stability or 10 prestige and an artist, but we're at maximum stability, so we'll get 50 administrative power instead. And they'll help us core this stuff. We just have to wait till February, and then we'll sign a peace deal. So, we don't like Sunnis much, but we are tolerant of Shiite, Sibadi, Muslims, anyone who's a heathen. So that works for me. Though I should note that the tolerance of heathens that we have is capped at 3. That's the highest it can get. Tolerance of the true faith does not have a cap. It can get as high as we can get the numbers. So that just gives us a little bit of a margin in case our legitimacy decreases or something. You know, something that would bring down our acceptance of heathens. And a little bit of war exhaustion. There's going to be some time peace before we can attack anyone after this war. We can't invade Andhra until 1549. So we're actually 100 years into the game, and this is the expansion that we've done. We've eliminated all of our regional rivals, except for the ones that are just crippled and barely surviving. We're huge. Our technology is good. We're lagging behind on one of the institutions, colonialism, but it's spreading, and the more it spreads, the cheaper it's going to be when we go to embrace it. It'll spread a little bit more quickly when we're at peace. But really, we just need to save up some cash. Okay, everything is cored. We can take as much stuff as we can fit in. So we definitely want their forts. Oops. So that they're unable to defend themselves against our next attack. And we could also split their country. Let's see how much money they have. 260 ducats. And that's pretty nice. They do still have a fort here. And they'll have their capital fort. Maybe we could take this fort instead. Could take Vinod, the state of Kerala. Yeah, I kind of like that. 85 overextension, it will upset some people, but we're not intimidated. Let's see if we don't take that. Can we get something else? We could attach our territory together if we don't take their money. I do like that prospect. Yeah, let's take that, because this one was isolated. I mean, I want their money and all, but let's break that fort and hand this province over to the Dhimmis. There's no revolt risk. We're coring it. Do the same here. Try the castle. Try this castle, because once we eliminate VJ, we're not going to need a lot of these forts. Okay, I don't want to pay for these mercenaries any longer, so we're getting rid of that stack of 9. Getting rid of that fort, and increasing the autonomy, We'll keep Didar for the moment. A couple forts are alright. We just don't want too many. Looks like there's no place that has super high. Unrest. So let's move one army around here to Bidar. And then the other army will move here to Velenadu. We'll core some stuff, and we'll stop paying our troops. Try to pick up an alliance here with Baluchistan, because now we're allowed to again. Okay, so something just happened. We'll take a look at this. Okay, versions seem to diverge on exactly how it happened. Some say they came in the dark, some say they hid in big boxes disguised as gifts, but somehow the commander of one of our coastal forts managed to lose control of both his island fort and the entire region under his control at the same time. The perpetrators are a group of cities. Former slaves of Ethiopian origin had become a quite common sight in the navies and armies of this region. The leader of the cities has sent an emissary to our court today asking that we allow them to stay in control of the fort they have taken in return for their loyal service to our state. So we can make them into a subject, a vassal, or we could fight them. Let's fight them. So they're the attacker. And let's send just mercenaries under the command of our better general. Crush them. We can actually probably call in our allies. Yeah, our allies were automatically called in because we are the defender in this war. Somehow I don't think that they're going to win. Okay, we can give our merchant guilds monopoly charters and then ask them for points. We could do the same for admin points with our clergy, and that'll help us core some stuff. Should crush their army in a single battle. That's... well, we would consolidate any casualties if we didn't lose over 1,000 men, so it doesn't quite matter. Let's go ahead and get rid of these mercenaries as well, and start building up to replace them. 24,000 troops here. And 10,000 there. Why don't we send 4,000 from here? So it'll be 20. So we have exactly the number of troops that we need, counting these mercenaries. As we phase them out, we'll have to buy new troops. Okay, we can have 31,000. Okay, we have an event. So there are some heathens that wish to join our army. We can deny that and get 10 prestige and 10 piety. Or we can get some manpower, lose piety, lose prestige. We want the piety and the prestige. I mean, manpower would be nice, but we don't have a fear of commitment. We're going to stick to our principles. We want high piety. Again, we're not going to buy this war exhaustion down. We're simply going to wait. And our trust did drop a little bit, but it stayed pretty high. We've guaranteed them. Let's get their trade power. It's like our trust with them before is at 85, I think. And then it dropped down to 80, and we bought it back up to 85 when we influenced them. We captured that province. Let's go ahead and take it. And take some money for our troubles. Sadly, we can't increase the unrest again. We'll probably have to deal with a local revolt. Now, Coruscant got beat up. We got a shot at being able to vassalize them once this overextension goes down, and our diplomatic reputation thus goes up. Okay, how long before we can invade Andra? It was 49. So 3 years. And we got a little while before, 4 years before we can invade Kachar. We can invade Pegu anytime we want over a couple of these provinces. But they're permanent claims, and it's only over 2 provinces, so we can wait. They're allied to Ayutthaya, our allies, so better to play that a little passive. We're going to improve relations with Ayutthaya. Yeah, VJ is really weak now. As far as I can tell, let's look. They have just that one fort. And it's just a capital fort. So we essentially hit them, wipe out their army, and then we just carpet siege everything. And they don't have a hope. Just checking our estates to see if anyone had anything they want to give us. But there's not a whole lot that we could do without upsetting these 3. We don't want their loyalty to be under 40. Okay, rebels in Bengal Delta. It should be a big stack of them because, well, it's high development. So what we're going to do here, try playing damage control, is we're going to attack them with the 17,000 mercenaries first, and once they're engaged in battle and killing each other, then we'll back them up with real troops. Yes, we are going to influence Baluchistan, because that increases the trust, and thus increases chance that we can vassalize them. BJ is spying on us, but, you know, we don't take their spies that seriously. So that plan worked out pretty well. We took 8,500 casualties, but only about 1,500 of those were our real troops. The bulk of them were mercenaries. These guys are pretty beat up. They're different kinds of troops, so they can't merge together. So we'll just get rid of them both. And get our real troops back over here to Bidar. Let's get some troops. And again, we're back up to our force limit as soon as these troops are done being built. There's not a whole lot that we can do at the moment to increase our chances of vassalizing them, except for completing this mission. So why don't we actually just ally Yarkand, get him up to 100. I'm not sure if there's any other way. Move Kachar from the map. Yeah, we'll do that pretty soon. They'll give us manpower, so that's a pretty good idea. We're still at -1. Once this stuff cores, we don't want to do that quite yet, sorry. I still don't want to take any hits to our legitimacy. Let's give military access. But our relations are already maxed, so there's really nothing we can do except for just wait till the end of the year it's not going to give us trust. Yeah, we just need more diplomatic reputation. We can invade Timurids again. Gave Yarkand military access to our country. And things that would help is if we can influence them once again, we'll get more trust with them, and trust will boost up the chance. Or we wait until we've completed this idea for 2 extra diplomatic reputation. That would really help out. But Baluchistan's trying to invade Timurids. They're going to get a little bit larger and more powerful. They might even call us into this war they have. Annoying. We're not going to help them out, though. There's 50 ducats. I mean, we could help them out a little. I really don't want them getting any stronger, then it'll make it even more difficult to vassalize them. So they would accept it now that we've finished coring that stuff, of course. They couldn't just wait a couple months. Go for the cheapo advisor, and let's get our next influence idea so that we suffer a little bit less aggressive expansion anytime we conquer stuff. And we can invade Andhra. And we want piety. We crush that army completely. Crush that army completely. And then we just want to capture all of their territories so they can't make any new troops. And then we'll just siege them down and take what we want. One thing we could do here is we could just take all the territory and ensure that we don't leave much for them. And then once they peace out, we'll get more favors from fighting in the war. So let's do that. Let's split up our army. And we're going to send these half of the guys north. We'll send these guys west. If they pick up one province, you know, that's not going to be the end of the world. Just have to make sure that they don't get much more than just BAM. Okay, so that should be pretty good. And I'm boxing them in. We should take a survey of where overextension is. We don't have any overextension. Let's see what we could actually get with our war score here. Take that. Looks like this province is probably worth quite a bit. 27 development. Yeah. So they wouldn't accept all of this. Oops. Take those, take all of their money. 1,000 ducats worth. And one more province. Yeah, so we'll probably have to wait till this fort surrenders to us. So we'll send the cannons down to help out. I don't know where they're retreating, but we wouldn't be there to meet them when they do retreat. They do stop moving. Looks like it's over here. So when we're fighting in one of our allies' wars, I think you've seen this before, we could get favors. And how those work is when we've been called into a war, when any war, actually, it'll show us the participation of who's been doing the fighting. We've done 1/3 of the fighting here. And the higher this is at the end of the war, the more favors we'll get. And we can trade those in. Oh, growth of the print industry. So that one is guaranteed to happen in Europe as well. So we're falling behind in technology cost. And now we have another one that happened in... Oh, hey, maps spread to us. We can now see Europe. And North and West Africa. The Castiles expanded there. Madagascar has been unified. There's a strong Kilwa. Ottomans haven't expanded west as much as you'd expect. They haven't really gone into the Balkans. Well, gone beyond the Balkans, I should say. They haven't conquered even Egypt yet. And they've been pretty passive up here. Poland does not rule over Lithuania, and Sweden has been beating up on Denmark. So the growth of the printing press happened in Skåne. And we're going to have to encourage it to grow in our country. So how that one triggers, we can see, we look at it. It spreads based off of state religions being Protestant or Reformed, or provinces being Protestant or Reformed. It always happens either in the German region or in a province that is Protestant or Reformed religion. And those are the main factors as how it spreads, so we're going to have to develop again. We pick one of our provinces to develop, like this one. And we might as well just start developing it. And since it already has colonialism present, it's just going straight for the next one, the printing press, even though we haven't finished off colonialism. So we're 57% of the way done. And we've run out of manpower again. Actually suffering a little attrition here, so we'll stick them back on Bidar because it can support a lot of troops. But we really don't have any rebel problems. There's a one province of Janjira right here that has high unrest. That's really it. I think that's literally it. Yeah, we have one province with unrest. So we're a pretty stable state. We can actually get rid of this fort. It's not protecting us. We got these two to protect us from a southern invasion, and then most of our enemies would be over here. But basically, I think have to wait for this fort to fall. And let's get rid of these mercenaries. Actually, we can't replace them yet, so we'll hold on to them for the moment. We'll take those provinces and all of their money. Yeah, I like it. Now we have the cash to embrace colonialism. I'm going to do that before we pay off our debts, because it will make our tech much cheaper. And then this is the province, Panapat, where we're encouraging the printing press, so as soon as we get enough points, we are going to develop it further. We're going to save up our admin power. And now we have eclipsed VJ. Oh, we have two forts. We don't need that one. And we've got now unrest in several provinces. Including that one. That one and that one. Okay, that's about the best we can do for the moment. Okay, so we have a choice here, unrest or losing prestige. We can obviously get prestige back pretty easily, so we'll lose the prestige. Let's see how long this video has been going on, 43 minutes, so we're going to stop there. Thank you for watching. This has been another Let's Play of EU4 with RedBstrd.